Hello everyone, Andy here, and we're delighted to say that today's video is brought to you in partnership with Manscaped, but we'll have more on that later in the video. As one of the biggest wrestling matches of the year, the Royal Rumble is also one of the most important to get right. Do that, and the road to WrestleMania is easy street. Get it wrong, however, and you might as well be traveling down Fury Road. I'm Andy from What Culture, and here are 10 times WWE got the Royal Rumble winner wrong. At number 10, 2016, Triple H. Acceptable only from an anyone but Roman standpoint, which was pretty much at its peak back in 2016, Triple H, a company executive and part-time wrestler, won what will hopefully be his last WWE Championship by taking this match, which itself was a piss-poor attempt at recreating the magic of Austin McMahon from years before. Another failed attempt at generating sympathy for Reigns in his failed babyface run, it resulted in a slow, plodding and tedious 30-minute slog of a WrestleMania match that felt at least twice its actual runtime. In the end, Roman's Mania coronation closed the show on the sourest of sour notes. Number 9, 1997, Steve Austin. He's one of the greatest Royal Rumble performers ever, Stone Cold, but after winning the 97 Rumble, Austin had his title shot taken away from him after eliminating Bret Hart when Austin himself had already been thrown out. The officials missed that, but Austin ended up being punished retrospectively. He had the title shot taken away and he ended up working one of the best Mania matches of all time with Hart instead. Bret had actually become WWE Champion between all of this, only to lose the belt to Psycho Sid a day later. And then you get to WrestleMania and Sid loses the belt to The Undertaker. Keep in mind that this was originally where Hart was going to wrestle Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania, but then HBK lost his smile. So yeah, I mean, it's easy to say all of these things in hindsight, but when you consider what actually happened at WrestleMania and WWE's original plans, why mess around with the Rumble result in the first place? Answers on a postcard, please. Number 8, 2012. Sheamus. Look, I love Sheamus. I think he's one of the best and most consistent WWE wrestlers of this era. But he shouldn't have won this Royal Rumble, particularly when Chris Jericho was right there. Jericho felt like the biggest heel on the planet heading into the event. In WWE, he was in a league of his own as a character, and winning the Rumble was a logical decision. But with it being a logical decision, it was obviously the exact thing WWE didn't do. They decided instead to have Sheamus win by deflatingly eliminating Jericho and going on to squash Daniel Bryan in 18 seconds at WrestleMania, which, of course, is another cherished moment. Number 7, 1990. Hulk Hogan. What's that, friends? Hulk Hogan triumphing at the expense of a younger, hungrier talent who needed the win a lot more? Doesn't sound like Terry Bollea to me, but believe it or not, that's exactly what happened in 1990. This was a great chance to elevate the fast-rising Mr. Perfect, who is immensely over as a heel and would have gone over the top into a new level of stardom had he won the Rumble. But in the end, Kurt Hennig lasted just 3.5 minutes in a second place finish. Hogan ended up igniting his legendary rivalry with the Ultimate Warrior right here in this match, which was a worthwhile endeavor, but Hulk didn't need to win the Rumble when he was already WWE's franchise player. At the end of the day, this was just a waste.
I did not know that did that. Oh, sorry guys, you just caught me catching up on some Manscaped news there, which reminds me, today's video is actually sponsored by Manscaped.com. Now, as you might know, we here at What Culture can't get enough of Manscaped products, and we just had a new delivery in time for our New Year, New You makeovers.
Just saying, more people should play the things I recommend.
Ugh. Why does it look like a naked mole rat wearing a clown wig?
Hey buddy, nice pubes. What are you using on there?
As you can tell, there's a lot to love about Manscaped's Performance Package 4.0 bundle, which I have with me right here. My favourite piece of kit of the bunch though is the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer. I've been using this beauty all year, and let me tell you, its design is as sleek and as smooth as my downstairs now is. And that's down to the 4.0's replaceable ceramic blades with skin-safe technology and an LED light that helps you trim with confidence and see your sensitive bits with a sense of clarity that I can only describe as full HD. It's also great for beard maintenance. It comes with this excellent wireless charging dock, and there's a travel lock feature for when you're on the move. All it takes is 3 clicks and then you're good. Out of the shower, the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant has you covered for clear drying downstairs moisturizing. And on the other hand, or ball I guess, the Crop Reviver Ball Toner with cooling aloe vera gives you that midday refresh. Delicious. Now, nobody warned me when I was younger just how hairy these shotgun nostrils were going to get, but the Weed Whacker ear and hair nose trimmer with skin-safe technology has all bases covered, and it means that your eyes won't. For a limited time only as well, you can get 2 free gifts with your order, including this cool shed travel bag and these anti-chafing Manscaped boxer shorts, which have honestly just changed my life. In fact, I'm actually wearing another pair right now. Do you want to see? Do you want to see? Finally, sign up to the Peak Hygiene plan and you'll get refreshments of all your favorite products delivered straight to your door, hassle-free. So go to manscaped.com today for 20% off and free international shipping, of course, as well as these 2 free gifts when you use our promo code WART20 at the checkout. That's promo code WART20 when you check out. For now though, let's get back to that video.
Number 6, 2013, John Cena. Cena's once-in-a-lifetime match with The Rock was such a huge success at the previous year's WrestleMania. The following January, WWE decided to begin the process of running that into the ground. Vince McMahon decided there had to be a rematch, so The Rock beat CM Punk to become WWE Champion, and Cena won the Rumble. Thus began the joyless slog to WrestleMania, and twice in a lifetime. The second match was nowhere near as good or successful as the first, and Cena's Rumble win was a totally transparent money grab that nobody really wanted to see. Number 5, 1994, Lex Luger. There were co-winners in 1994 as Bret Hart and Lex Luger shared the Rumble honors, with both of their feet seemingly hitting the floor at the exact same time. This ended up working out okay for Hart in the long run as he went on to wrestle for the belt at WrestleMania 10, winning it on a pivotal night that also brought his all-time classic with Owen. That being said, sharing the honors with Luger was completely pointless. If this was going to be the end game, and the fans certainly told WWE who they wanted to win at the end of the match, then they would have been much better off just giving it to Bret in the first place. Staying in touch with what your audience wants from the product is critical, and here, as we can see, WWE not doing that with the Rumble is nothing new. Number 4, 1989, Big John Studd. The second Royal Rumble in history was awarded to Big John Studd as something of a gold watch. It was a pat on the back for his years of service with the company and came at a time when WWE were still figuring out what the Rumble was going to be and what it would mean going forward. It's therefore quite difficult to go in on this thing too hard, but had WWE actually figured this whole Rumble thing out in advance, they could have given it to somebody whose WrestleMania role was going to be something more than a mere guest referee spot when Andre the Giant wrestled Jake Roberts. Number 3, 2015, Roman Reigns. This is one of the most catastrophic WWE matches of all time, and you just need to look at the closing scene to figure out why. Not even The Rock could save Roman Reigns from a building-shaking chorus of jeers as he rose up to take the win. It was the exact moment his babyface run became untenable and something that WWE couldn't truly fix until he returned in 2020 and turned heel. Add the dumb, deflating slaughter of babyface favorites like Dean Ambrose and Dolph Ziggler being joylessly put over the top rope by Big Show and Bloody Kane, and you have an all-time terrible Rumble. Number 2, 2014, Batista. Another night of astonishing fan revolt took place in 2014 when Batista, who'd only just returned to WWE, won on a night that should have belonged to Daniel Bryan. Bryan wasn't even in the match. So angry were the fans that they booed Rey Mysterio of all people when he came out at number 30 and not Bryan. And when it became apparent that the whole thing was leading to Batista winning and walking into a planned WrestleMania headliner with Randy Orton, his babyface run was doomed as well. WWE were eventually forced to pivot when the clamor for Bryan led to them inserting him in the WrestleMania storyline. This resulted in one of the most memorable nights of Bryan's career, but they never wanted to do this. WWE wanted Orton versus Batista, and it took one of the biggest backlashes in history for them to actually come around. And at number 1, 2020. Charlotte Flair. No shade on Charlotte Flair, who gets way too much crap when really the frustration should be aimed at the way she is booked rather than the performer herself. The women's match should have belonged to Shayna Baszler. She was on the verge of breaking out as a major threat in a way that she still hasn't on the main roster, and did look dominant when she finally came in, wiping out a total of 8 wrestlers before being dumped out by Charlotte. Already one of, if not the most decorated women's wrestler in WWE history, Charlotte didn't need the rub at all. It was a needless win over a wrestler who actually did need it. And speaking of which, Flair went on to face Rhea Ripley for the NXT Women's title at WrestleMania, winning that as well. This too ended up being ruinous. Ripley immediately had her badass aura stripped away from her because of how she was made to look in the aftermath, and even now, she still hasn't fully recovered and may never do that. So that's our list, but what do you guys think? Let us know down in the comment section below. After that, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. When you've done that, you can follow us on Twitter at WhatCultureWWE and myself at Andy H. Murray, where you can tell me how wrong I am. Goodbye.